Hello there, two-stroke turbo super fans. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to one of the best automotive content YouTube and other video providers on the internet, giving you your daily dose of cars and dogs. Petting the dog, the shop dog Stella. She was just sleeping somewhere over there in front of that Subaru. I got something to share with you today. We're working on a little microcar, as we sometimes do in the shop. Come on, follow me. Come on in the shop. We're going to walk past the Honda N600, which I'm doing a dash repair on. I've yet to sand off the textured dash, but it's looking really good. I'm going to sand that down and put another coat of lighter texture on there. That should get that working pretty good. The car we're talking about today, or the car we're going to highlight, this one we are going to spotlight, is this little Isetta. It's a cabriolet. You can see the folding top in the back. It's a pretty cool car. It's a 1958 sliding window cabriolet, which is rather rare. They did not make very many. It's way different than my car, which is a non-cabriolet. The frame is different, lots of different things. Stella has just entered the shop and laid down to cool off. It is warm outside. It's about 83 and a little muggy. So you'll notice on this Isetta cabriolet, as I'm yapping away here, there's a big hole in the side. That's where the engine and the transmission normally resides. Engine would be right here. Pulls in air, blows air across the top of the cylinder head and out the other side. Same thing with the exhaust. You can see, I turn the light on here. Turn the light on here. There we go. Light it up a little bit. That's your drive line. That's how it all connects. Carburetor's just hanging here. So let's go see in the other side of the shop what's going on. I actually have an open bay here, except for the dog. Taking a little snooze, and I have an open bay here, and as I go back to my roots, I guess I prefer working on the ground. So this is the engine for that BMW Isetta cabriolet that's on the ground. We are getting ready to replace the rear main seal. This is the seal, looks like any other oil seal. The trouble is it's behind the flywheel, and to get the flywheel off you have to have the big nut remover. Takes about 300 foot-pounds of torque, and I think it's a 32 millimeter socket, which is right here on the end of the crank, and then you have to use the bolts to pull gently the flywheel off. The flywheel is actually in a bit of a bell housing. And the way the clutch works, it's very interesting. It's a dry clutch. This is one clutch plate. This is your clutch disc, and that's your clutch pressure plate, and that's the spring, and that's how it all is assembled. In other words, this goes in here like that. Then you have your pressure plate, which goes on top of that, and then you'd have your spacer ring, which is that, then your disc, then your outside plate, and then your transmission engages the whole shebang through the center, just like a rabbit. When you pull on the clutch thing, you push this rod through the center shaft of the input shaft, which engages right in there, which depresses that spring, and you have clutch action. This is a replacement transmission. The transmission that was in that Isetta has a bad third gear, and I'm going to show you that right now. This was the transmission that was in the car. I have just put it back together, and I thought I should have showed you, but in lieu of showing you, I'm going to actually show you the exploded diagram. This is what's called a synchro mesh transmission. That means the gears are constantly engaged, and it has no synchronizers. It's constantly spinning. And what has happened is this is the third gear right here. That third gear has teeth on the side of the gear, and as you slide the slider, it engages teeth laterally, and the teeth are all wore off. They're all in the bottom of the transmission. I don't know how that happened, why it happened, but we need a new third gear, and I don't have one. I do have a spare transmission, so I'm going to get this guy on the road. So I am putting basically the transmission, the clutch, the rear main seal, and the engine, and the whole assembly back in the car, and I hope to have it running next week. So I wanted to show you what was going on here. I think that's pretty cool. Oh, I'm stepping on my tools. Like I say, I find it easier to work on the floor, but it's not optimal. Should put it on the bench. Okay, well, thanks for watching. My shop dog Stella just heard me closing out there. She's going to give you one last little, oh, there she goes, back to sleep. Hey, Stella. Look, there's a rabbit. There's a rabbit, Stella. Do you see him? Look, he's right there. There's a squirrel. There's a big fat juicy squirrel.